Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I'll be reviewing the WMA301, which is a Chinese premium tech tree tank destroyer that currently sits at 8.3 BR. Although I do see this increasing in the future for reasons I'll go over in the video. As with the rest of my reviews, I'll be going over the WMA stats, roles, strengths, and weaknesses, and give a final recommendation on if I think that you should purchase this beast from the East or not. Also, you know the dealio, only the raddest will survive and subscribe, so please do, and I will love you. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. So to start, for stats, the WMA301 has an 83 km/h top speed, an 18.2 to 26 degree per second turret traverse depending on crew skill, 6.7 to 8.7 second reload time, again depending on crew skill, a 105mm WMA301 cannon that features APF SDS, ATGM, Heat FS, HEVT, and HESH ammunition. Yes, WMA301 is both the type of cannon and the vehicle name. And yes, this thing has loads of ammo options. Finally, it features an HMG, LMG, and 8 76mm smoke grenade launchers. For armor, it features on the front, sides, and rear 30, 20, and 15mm for the turret, and for the hull 10, 8, and 6mm. Now for the WMA301's role. This is thankfully a pretty simple vehicle to understand, and as such, one that you can probably easily make up your mind on if you're looking to purchase it or not. Due to the fact that this is a 6-wheeled tank destroyer, it functions pretty similarly to the Centauro, Rocat, and other similar TDs. What makes this special is that while most other wheeled TDs are faster and or have better acceleration, the WMA features one of the most versatile cannons in game, especially relative to its BR. Its tandem charged GP105 ATGM is one of the best ATGMs in game, and the fact that you can get it at 8.3 BR with the WMA makes me highly suspicious that this vehicle will see a BR increase in the near future. Almost every hit with that ATGM, so long as it isn't a glancing blow or just clips the enemy, is a one-hit kill. It can punch through almost anything in game with ease, including some near top tier, or actually top tier tanks, and sets up this vehicle to be an excellent flanker. Again, despite its fairly low speed for what type of vehicle that it is, the WMA more than makes up for it with power. You will rarely reach a hiding spot before anyone else, but after you get there, assuming you're a quick shot, you'll probably get more kills than anyone else. In short, the WMA is a good flanker, and if you're in an up tier, you can still use this vehicle as a support TD and stay away from the front. In fact, if you're in a total up tier, I'd probably just stay as a support TD rather than go flanking, because you'll be slower than pretty much every tank in the game, at least on bad terrain. If you can stay around the edges of the front lines, you can easily pick off tanks that wander out of cover. Unfortunately, outside of playing medic, this TD doesn't really have many other roles, as its versatility is limited by its armor and speed, but it doesn't need many other roles if it can destroy basically anything it fights in one hit. Oh, and one last thing, it has thermals at 8.3 BR. If you can get into a night match and you're somehow not in a total up tier, this will be your best chance to flank, due to the fact that a good portion of enemies will either only have regular night vision or have nothing at all. Now for strengths and weaknesses, and as per usual, I'll start off with the strengths. First and foremost, it has an amazing cannon and ammo selection. Whether it's at 8.3, 8.7, or 9.0 BR, this cannon and ammo combination on this tank is absolutely amazing. At 8.3 or 8.7 BR, it immediately becomes one of the strongest possible weapon system in game relative to BR, due to the fact that it has APF SDS ammunition, powerful Heat FS that similar BR tanks lack protection against, and a tandem charged ATGM that can defeat the frontal hull armor and sometimes pen the turret armor near the cannon breech of a Leopard 2A5. Yes, you heard me right. This can beat the whole armor on the Leopard 2A5. Try it and test drive for yourself. Also, the ATGM can be used to defend against helicopters, which, at this BR, tend to make slow, easy targets. This is especially true due to its 18-degree gun elevation. Second, the WMA features 6-wheel steering, which actually makes this a fairly agile vehicle while it's on the move. Third, it has a decent stabilizer. It's not great, not bad, just decent, but I suppose at 8.3 BR, any stabilizer is a good stabilizer. Fourth, it's fast, though this is pretty par for the course for when it comes to wheeled vehicles, although compared to other wheeled vehicles, it's actually kind of slow. For your fifth strength, it has a large interior and weak armor, which means that many enemies will simply overpen without destroying the entire tank or crew. Sixth, equipping the ATGM does not reduce reload speed. As you see in so many other vehicles, having the ATGM be loaded into the main cannon almost sometimes doubles the reload speed, not with the WMA301. And for the final strength, the WMA301 features premium SL and RP bonuses. And now for some weaknesses, because unfortunately this is not as good as the F5E, so it does have some weaknesses and some major ones. I'll start off first, probably the most obvious one. It has abysmal armor. The only part of this tank that can offer any protection is the frontal turret armor, and even then, it's only 30mm. It can only protect against HMGs and, of course, the feared ICO-GO reserve Japanese tank. Second, this isn't really so much of a weakness because it sits at 8.3 BR, but its Type 83 APF SDS ammunition is weaker than other 105mm APF SDS rounds. Again, this is inconsequential because it sits at 8.3 BR. This will still be decent if and when it gets up-tiered even through 9.0 BR, and of course you'll probably never ever use the APF SDS ammunition because of course the ATGM for this is amazing. Third, the suspension is awful. Even though the WMA is fairly quick and has a stabilizer, it almost reminds me of the XM8 in that the stabilizer is largely useless on rough terrain when moving at speed. Fourth, it has actually really bad gun depression of only 4 degrees, or -4 degrees. And finally, it has meh turret traverse. I'd say its turret traverse speed is on the low end of average for this BR, and it's really not good because this is a wheeled vehicle, so in order to actually turn your turret faster by turning the vehicle itself, you actually have to be moving, and again, as mentioned before, if you're on rough terrain, good luck with that. And now finally for my final recommendation on if you should purchase the WMA301 or not. And I'll preface this by saying that I'm going to assume that most people considering the 301 will choose between it and the Type 69-2G. Now, I kind of did some math here, and the way I kind of figured it is that with the Type 69-2G, it costs $60 USD. With that, you get 2000 GE and 15 days of premium time. That would have cost approximately $17.50 USD if you could purchase those exact amounts of premium time and GE separately from the pack. The WMA301 costs around 8,710 GE, which would cost around $43 USD if you could purchase again that exact amount of GE in order to buy the WMA301. Assuming that you're just buying GE and not earning it via wagers or anything else, these vehicles alone, with not considering the cost of GE and premium time, cost almost exactly the same in terms of real money, sitting at around $43 USD each. And when I say not considering the cost of GE, I mean that in regards to the Type 69-2G pack. But of course, you can only purchase the Type 69-2G for the full cost of $60 USD, or whatever it might be in your currency, and the full 10,000 GE for your $50 USD. That said, the choice between these vehicles really comes down to personal preference and playstyle. The WMA is a much more capable vehicle than the Type 69. However, what it has in offensive capabilities, it lacks in survivability, whereas the Type 69 is a much better overall vehicle. I personally would choose the WMA simply because it has thermals and one of the best ATGMs in game, and it sits at 8.3 BR. When you separate the decision to purchase the WMA from the Type 69, I'd still say that this vehicle is more than worth it, especially on sale. The only somewhat comparable vehicles with this that sit at or around this BR and are premiums are the Rurocat 105 and the TM2IP, which both play similarly and are purchasable directly through Gaijin. Personally, I love the TM2IP and feel that it is overall a better vehicle when compared to the WMA 301, but the 301 still has better offensive capabilities over the TM2IP. Ultimately, the WMA is a great vehicle by itself, and while it can't take damage without dying for the most part, it is still ridiculously powerful as an offensive tool. It will kill nearly anything that it faces in one shot via the amazing ATGM, or if you prefer, the APF SDS. If grinding the Chinese tech tree, or you simply want a unique tool at your disposal around this BR for your tank lineup, this is an excellent choice. Just make sure that you're good at staying hidden, otherwise this might not be the vehicle for you. But that all being said, thanks so much for watching this video, everyone. It means the absolute world to me, and I know I say that every single video, but I mean it every single video. Comment below, let me know what you guys think about this video, about this tank. Let me know how your day's been. I want to hear it. But either way, thanks again, everyone, and I will see you all on the other side. Take care, everyone.